Hello everybody, welcome to FC Amakhosi. Like, comment, subscribe. There's something interesting that is happening in our team, and it could either break our team, it could make our team, depending how they react or how they respond to what is happening at the moment. You see that we are not winning games, especially in the PSL. We haven't been winning games. This is probably how many games that you haven't lost? We haven't won, rather. We haven't won plus minus 3 games in a row in the PSL, right? And now we are playing a cup. We are playing a cup tomorrow. We are playing against Stellenbosch, a team that we shouldn't take lightly. Forget the prior results. Forget the prior results or the previous results. Forget about them and just say to yourself that this is a new game. And I hope that these guys, our players, are taking this as a new game. As a new game, forget about the previous results. They don't matter now. This is a new cup, a cup that I can say that it's few games to win. Few games to win because already we are in the last 16. Let's go on, fight for this cup, get this cup, let this be our first cup, right? As this is the first competition that you are involved in since we did not qualify for the MTN 8. But here's the thing. Our fans, us fans, we need to change our attitude. We need to change our attitude towards these players. The things that you say on social media, the things that you do at the football grounds, some things are uncalled for. Some of these things are uncalled for. Lilepo had a bad game. One of the few games, or one of the bad games that he has had in our clubs. But this is the guy who's been performing. This is a guy who came last season, second half of the season, and already was our leading goal scorer. This is the same guy who got us to the second round of the Confed. I think that's what it's called. But it's the guy who got us to the second round in the tournament that you are playing in Africa. He's the only guy. Because it's the same guy who's got us a goal that led us to an aggregate of 1-1 so that you can go on penalties. Had he not scored, we're not going to be here. Last season, this guy was one of the few players who made sure that we win the Nedbank Cup. All of a sudden, he's a cow. All of a sudden, now he's a bad player. What happened to us supporting each and every player? What happened to us? What has gotten to us that we turn against our own players? Mayo, in his first game, he scored his first goal. That blunder that we made, are we going to crucify him for the blunder that he made by trying to tap in a goal when he was on an offside position? Are we going to crucify him for it? Can we stop and pause and ask ourselves really, is this what it means to support our team? That if a player has done a blunder and then all of a sudden then they end up being like bad players all of a sudden. I'm asking you, how does it may be that you drop 2 points? How does it may be that some of these players, they perform dismal when others had upped their game? But I'm begging you, anyone who dons our famous black and gold GAZ needs to be supported. We can't turn against our own players because now, if we then crucify, let me go to Lilepo, for example. If you crucify Lilepo, how many wingers do you have currently who are registered? I'll wait for you. I'll give you just a sec. We have few wingers in our team. I'm not talking about what the last game produced, where we saw a striker going to a winger, a striker coming in, going to a wing. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about how many wingers do we have in our team that now we crucify our own players. They have one game that is like totally bizarre, bad game, and then all of a sudden that we crucify them. Sereno, like he missed a penalty, and all of a sudden he was our worst player. We seem to be having a problem with being consistent in our support. What happened to support our players in their ups and in their downs? I'm not saying that we shouldn't criticize or give them feedback and say that, no, you had a bad game. But I'm talking about coming against you because you crucify them instead of building them. Say that, okay, in this game, you had one of your worst games. Now, therefore, what are you going to do? Show us that you're worth it to play for our team. Show us that you are the Lepo that we want to sign, and that last year you proved us to be a best player. That even now, last few games, you are our best player. What happened to us supporting these guys? Just wanted to make you think a bit about the actions that you put there. It's not worth it. It's uncalled for to go out and challenge these guys on personal level and even call them cows, and you go to their social media and tell them how much you hate them and why they shouldn't have signed for us. It's uncalled for. Things that you have said to Maya and how you have booed our own player so he'll be taken out. What happens if his confidence is knocked out or is knocked down? Who's going to be our winger? Who's going to be our goal-scoring winger? Because this is the only player who's a goal-scoring winger the way that he plays, or who has scored so many goals. I hope you haven't forgotten about this. But in any case, I want to talk about the game that you are playing tomorrow as you are playing against Stellenbosch. Like I said, we shouldn't take or look down upon our opponents and say that this is going to be a walk in the park. Draw from the previous results, that is good. However, that doesn't guarantee you that it's going to be a walk in the park and you are guaranteed a next round. No, you need to work hard. So, I've been listening and watching the news, our coaches talking on social media, saying the things that they've been saying. They are also disappointed, as the player is disappointed himself, like Maya is disappointed in himself. They are disappointed as well. However, now we need to show that we are Kaizer Chiefs. We are known to be love and peace. Let's show love. Let's show peace. Let's support these guys. Let's move on from the previous results. Because even now, going to the next game, I'm going to tell you, my starting 11. And you'll be shocked. And I'm going to tell you that, you know what, you're not going to change my mind by this starting 11. And this is supported by our coaches. Khalil came out saying that they have found 95% of our starting 11. And this is good. We're talking about game 7 or game 8 of the year or of this season already, and they're saying 95% of the guys that we've been playing, they have found to be forming part of their starting 11. Meanwhile, there's 5% that is still available. Obviously, they rotate here and there, but they have found the core of their team. How beautiful is that? As they found the core of their team, therefore, that means that the guys that you've been seeing consistently most of them are part of this team. There will be changes here and there based on performances and all, but they've found the core of this team, the strength of this team, to know who are forming the core or the strength of the team, to say this is now the Kaizer Chiefs players. Because we've bought so many players. Yes, there's still players that you haven't seen, meaning what? They form part of the 5% that is still available. It's not 5 players, but it's 5% of what they've seen already. So that is interesting, and that is encouraging for me as a fan to say that, okay, they found their starting 11, because we've been complaining that they chop and change the starting 11. Now they're saying that they found 95% of their team. So, going to the game tomorrow, I'm hoping for a win. I'm not saying I might not. I will not watch the game tomorrow. I'm going to a friend's grandmother's funeral. A friend of ours lost her grandmother, so we'll be going to Bloemfontein. I might not watch the entire game. If I watch, I might watch 20%, and then to reflect might be hard for me. But I'll make a plan. So, in any case, we are playing tomorrow, and I'm hoping for a win, as I said. And in us hoping for a win, I'm hoping that you're going to get behind each and every player so that they know that we are behind them. So we can go and win this game. Let's become a 12th man and support these guys. I know Cape Town and these other provinces, These provinces, they hardly see Kaizer Chiefs. They're not spoiled as Gauteng. So they'll go out there, and I'm begging you, don't fly down or drive down to Cape Town, and then next thing, you are the one who's throwing missiles, you are the one who is throwing tantrums and throwing things at these guys, and you attack and boo them. Don't be that guy. So I'm hoping for a win. And my starting 11, it's based on my assumption who forms part of the 95%. And you look at the previous game, the only thing that was missing and the only thing that we've been talking about, it's putting the ball at the back of the net. Playing so much, so beautiful, but the final thing that is missing, that last thing that should be done is to put the ball at the back of the net. We played beautiful. Probably for me, this was the best game. I like even better than the game that we played against Stellenbosch. How ironical. So, I'm saying to you, 95% of the squad, as the coach says, he has identified. So for me, my starting 11 going to this game, having to watch the game the way I watch it and analyze the way they analyze it, 95% for me. Let me talk about the starting 11. Peterson, Solomon's, he has picked himself ahead of Frosler. Frosler, he hasn't done so much to start tomorrow or any game anytime soon, because Solomon has been playing very well and has been linking very well with Lilep. On the left, Cross. Then in the middle, it's Quinica and Inasho at the moment. The team is not balanced at the back, but we're not going to see that because they have a cover in Mteto, who's picking himself now ahead of others. And the coaches are so happy with his contribution and his development. They are saying that this is a guy that they're building their team around because he's proven himself and has improved so much. They love Mteto. Who is he going to be playing with? For me, it's just unfortunate, the match fitness, and this is why now they keep on dropping. No, but I'm getting it, but slowly it's going to get there. He's picking himself again. Ngobo there with Mteto. Then on the left, it's Modi. On the right, it's Lilep. I'm not going to change those guys. Then in front of them, which is the number 10, Ndu, I think he had a very good game and even scored in the previous game. Don't change that. Mayo again as our striker. That is my starting 11. I didn't change any starting 11, but it's because of what I saw and hearing that the front 95% of these guys being their core team, I'm happy with that. But they must learn not to take every striker on tour or on the bench in the 18-man squad, because they made a mistake there by taking every striker. I mean, it was Duba, Flava, and Mayo. That was so necessary. Drop one and have one striker. And then you add, for me, you have a midfielder, you had Chisley on that already, keep him there. Then you had your keep him there. But at the back, I think that we gambled. We only had two defenders there. Outside was Foster. I don't remember the other one. Because, guys, things happen at the back. Defenders, as the last man, they always throw their bodies and sometimes they get injured. So for me, I'll have another defender. This is not me defending, but this is to say that, okay, if we say, okay, sharp, Flava is coming in, is not performing, or you want to change, you can still also put the Lepo there as a striker. But now, who's going to strike? Who's going to play a wing? This is to show you that we don't have enough wingers. Until you Arsenal Villa they sign, they get their clearances, I'm still going to say that you don't have wingers. And Villagaz is not around. He's playing his football and won the man of the match there. So therefore, that means that we're still short or thin on the wing. But in any case, I wouldn't have a striker there because Duba came in as a wing and did nothing. I would rather have Dupreez. Than Duba as a third striker. So I'm hoping for a win. That is my starting 11. Guys, I want to hear your thoughts. I'm out. FC Amakhosi. Cheers. Bye.